Come on in, everybody. Just wanted to do another quick update here. This is the image that I found actually from when I searched the El Charro parking lot. Look how suspicious this looks like. I just want to show you guys this image real quick. This is dated from 2023. Employees park in the back. I don't know your thoughts on sorry. I don't know your thoughts on the white Kia right now, but this is outside of the Charro parking lot. I got another picture here too. I'm going to show you guys real quick. Hope everyone's having a good day. I wanted to hop back on. This is what I found. So when JLR was on earlier, we were going through, or I was going through some screenshots while he was traveling to this place, and I noticed this, and I want to share this with everybody. And I don't know if the white Kia is still a thing or not, but this was the picture that I found here. I'll show you the other one of the white Kia. So if we go to like Google Earth, right? So if we go, just bear with me here. We're just trying to go, we're trying to look at every angle because obviously law enforcement has nothing. No one's been found of anything. So we're trying to figure out what it could be. Again, welcome to the show. Appreciate it. I'm going to show you the Google Earth with El Churro. This is where the FBI was just at a few days ago. Brian Enton was there. JLR was there. All the big players in the community, all the people in the trenches working their butts off, boots on the ground. So when he was there earlier, excuse me, I've been shoveling my butt off today. So when he was there earlier, we had, it is a little bit of breaking news. I mean, we spotted a white Kia that was outside of El Charro. If you've been following my channel, you would notice that it's the same thumbnail each time. So it's breaking news to me. It might not be for you. If you don't like it, you can get off the channel. So anyways, this is what I have. Actually, this is what we have here. So if we go to the downtown El Charro, this is what we know right now that the FBI has been looking at. Okay, I'm sorry. I shoveled 40 inches of snow, so I apologize, Melissa. I know. Sorry. I just came in. I'm exhausted. I didn't change the thumbnail, and I should when it says breaking news. It's just more of a lazy thing on my part. If you notice some of the streamers, you might have the same thumbnail for the Nancy Guthrie case because it takes so much time to put it back up. And so I'm very sorry. Sorry to be a little snippy. It's like 40 inches of snow, and I'm just like dead. I was on earlier, but I thought I'd show this. I wanted to ask everyone, can you please turn on closed captions? Yeah, I wish I know how to do that. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I feel like dumb to not know how to do this. 1 second. I don't know if it does closed captions. If you want, you know what? If you want, okay, I'm trying right now. I can also do it after I get done doing this video. Let me see, settings, general, landscape, portrait, automatic, add, present to storage media, landscape, portrait, camera, audio, reduce background noise, adjust volume, visual effects. I have a green screen. This just shows blurring. 1 second, I'm sorry. Recording, record video, hotkeys. Okay, maybe this is it. Hold on. I'm sorry, I'm pretty new to this. I apologize. I can, bottom of my screen right there. Okay. You know what? I can re-record this and put it in Canva for you. This is going to be short, so I can save it. So here, let me type this to you. I can save it with closed close captions on Canva when I'm done. First, I've seen a white Kia outside El Charro. Thank you. Yeah, no, and I'm not saying this is a person. This person could be innocent. I have no clue, but I just wanted to go over this with you really quick about this, because if we're still even looking for the white Kia, this is what I found on Google Earth. So here, let me just share this screen with you. So this is the downtown El Charro Cafe. They've been in business for 100 years. A very popular spot. Makes really, really good food. It's on the top corner of the settings circle. Okay, bear with me. I'm trying to get a closed caption. On the top corner of the settings. Well, the New York Post reported that there was 2 FBI agents there. So yeah, so I'm not sure, but yeah, so I just wanted to let you guys know they do closed captions on their own computer. Oh, please, yeah, I'm sorry. I will resave this for you though, I promise, and I'll put it to closed captions. I'm just kind of computer illiterate. I looked at settings and I'm not sure. But so, not saying that this is part of it, but I know JLR was just there. And when we wanted to go around, I don't know if you can see the Google Earth. Let me stream Google Earth here. 1 second. So basically, I just went here. This is my first time ever even seeing the white Kia. And again, it probably has nothing to do with the case, right? But we're outside of El Charro. I know when JLR was there, I was streaming a little bit earlier. It was closed at the time. I think he waited all the way because, I mean, he does a phenomenal job, obviously. I mean, he covers all the cases. So this is where I was able to find it. I was just thinking, okay, a back parking lot. You know, I was a waiter a long time ago. And, you know, they always tell you to park in the back. I switched the dates on Google, and this is what we seen. FBI says, let me see, historically correct. FBI says talk with the staff at El Charro's. The head of chief said they didn't. I'm not sure the FBI is going to disclose a lot of stuff, so I understand what you're saying, but FBI definitely is playing chess. I mean, they're not going to tell media or tell anything what they're thinking, but looks like if it's, you know, I mean, this could be 1%, if that. So I'm just following on what the most recent reports are because we really don't have much to report. No, I did not report it. I don't, I'm not the gear. Sorry about the gear. I don't know. The gear of the car or something. I did not report it yet. I can. I don't know if they're looking for the white Kia though, because in the video they said they were looking for the white Kia, right? Like a couple of weeks ago, and then they said the blue Malibu, and they said there was someone screaming. So that's why I was jumping on here. What do you guys think in terms of this white Kia? I mean, I can show you the pictures of the Kia. The gear button is settings. The gear button is settings. I'm sorry. Okay, I don't know. There's a hit job, kidnapping, ransom gone wrong. Yep, very smart, very smart. So, so basically, we just went to the stage here. Oops, if I can get, let me see what I'm doing wrong here. I think I got to remove this. So this is where we originally, I mean, I think we all know this. And again, I'm not trying to like do breaking news. It's just the same thumbnail that I put every time. So we're just trying to get updates on current news. It was El Charro. JLR was just there. They gave him information. Whatever I've just read from the New York Post that the FBI was there. I don't know if it's anything. I was just shocked when while he was live earlier, waiting for that place to open. We decided to go on Google Earth and just like mess around and look, and that's kind of what we got. KC to King, what's up, man? So let me show you the real screen of the car that we think. This is what was originally taken. And then you guys seen all the Google trends for everything, right? Like all the search terms with everything with, see like this. So is this what they're saying? And again, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this what they're saying is the Kia? It's probably hard to see. Is that what they think looks like a Kia? I have another screenshot too, but I mean, is this what we all can agree on? Oh, an Arizona female searcher found keys and black gloves in Wash this AM, about 3 miles from Nancy's in Wash. Isn't anyone else searching? And that's a great point. Historically correct. I know. I feel like JLR was the only one, and then there was the shark guy and Dad's Gone Live. There's like, and then criminal Alex from Criminal Network. There's only a handful of people that were even searching. Like, where's the? And again, I don't want to knock law enforcement or FBI, but obviously, we know kind of what to think of Sheriff Nanos, which I don't like to bash on like police and stuff like that because it's just one bad law enforcement like Rex Uerman, right? All it took was one sergeant to ruin that case, and as soon as the Gilgo Beach Four, as soon as they changed administration, within a few months later, they solved Rex Uerman. Do you remember that? It went on for like a decade of all these murdered girls, and then literally changed the administration, the sergeant, and they found Rex Uerman. So I'm just catching up with somebody's stuff. Yep, it's hey Ted Motz, hey Deb. It's all about the will of Nancy changed her will. That Monday Tomatoes would lose his power of attorney. Interesting, very interesting point. Hey Ted Mods and chat, good to see you. Reported, it could be important. I definitely will after this. I just wanted to get your guys' opinion because I don't want to like startle somebody or frame somebody for no. Wait 1 second. Make sure okay, it's on. Okay, so but can we all agree? Is this the Kia though? Here, I have another image of it. I want to show you. Is this what they found outside the house that everybody earlier on was saying? Let's see if I can find it again. Hold on 1 second. Right here. Okay, hold on. Open the file up. Because we kind of got to go back a little bit. So does that look like a Kia? Like, I mean, I guess there is video of it driving. I wasn't sure. So, oops. Make sure my computer's plugged in. Okay. Wife, that does have to be investigated. Okay. Hey, Dad, I hope everything's good with the family. Thank you, Sunflower. Power 1 month before. Okay. Definitely reported. Okay, so that's the Kia. There's another clip of it. Okay, I want to show you some other quick things because I feel like we need to go back a little bit because there's literally no information. I mean, if it wasn't because of JLR helping us, would we have gotten any information from law enforcement? I mean, remember when he told us that there was drilling going down? I mean, if it wasn't for the sleuths that were on the scene, we wouldn't really know anything. The sheriff's timeline says pacemakers spiked. Here's Deb, spiked at 2 a.m. That might be poor Nancy had a heart attack from the shock trauma of perps and events drastically changed. Yeah, exactly. That's what some investigative person also mentioned that a few days ago. It's funny you said that. They said, it might have been too much for someone to wake up with a pacemaker at that age and see somebody in a ski mask. So sad. Such a great point, though. Now, I do want to show you, did you guys see this? Look how weird this is. So what I did is I went in front of my Nest camera. Oh, sorry. Well, that's too close up of my face there. Sorry about that. I went in front of my Nest camera just to try something. Let me show you this. How can I remove from the studio? 1 second. Now I'm going to add. No. I'm going to share this. I thought this was pretty weird. So the guy that comes up to the front of the door, right, that disabled the Nest camera, here is me side by side with him, putting a miniature flashlight in my mouth next to my Ring doorbell camera. Look at how you can't even tell. There's me. Oh, cool. Yeah. Yep, we're big supporters, everyone. But how crazy is this? So there's the perp. Here, let me take comments off the screen for a second. There's the perpetrator. So all I did was take a picture in front of my Nest camera, and I have a small little flashlight like this. And I even had a smaller one. I think it's like one of my sons, but I put it like that. You can't even see my face. It's so weird that you can see that person's face. And I have night vision. It's like infrared, or it's like for like. It looks like the same Nest camera. Why can't you even see my face at all? I'm literally inches from the screen. Isn't that weird? Yes, I'm taking emails. tedinvestigates@gmail.com. Wait. Those near cameras can have a SIM card, in which is maybe why he took it. Oh, okay. So you mean, so I have a subscription. Do you think having a subscription has anything to do with the FBI maybe pulling data? Like they're able to pull like cleaner data or something? Because like there's my photo. You can't see me. And all I did was put mine next to that photo. It's not, I'm not next to the person. Um, was there light? Wait. This is a good point. Was there light in the house shining on the perp's face at the door? Good question. Because when he did walk up, he had the lights on his shoulders, right? When he walked up, and there could have been a light. That's actually a great question, because I think I want to, oh God, now I didn't document if my porch light was on or not. So I can't honestly tell the truth there, whether this was pitch black walking up. Now my street is very dark at night, but that's interesting. God, I'm a dummy. I was just trying to test. The vehicle you should be looking at. Okay, wait, let me write this down. Terry Piper said the vehicle you should be looking at is at 2:36 a.m. CCTV video footage. Did you know? I'm sure you've seen it on probably one of the channels. On my channel, I went through Google Trends and I Googled. I think the FBI scrubbed it, but I Googled in January about, does Nancy Guthrie have CCTV cameras around her house? Does she have security detail? U.S. Bank, Bitcoin popped up. Nancy Guthrie does Bitcoin accounts. Savannah Guthrie, Bitcoin account. And we had 50 to 60 searches. Nancy Guthrie address. We have Nancy Guthrie's image. So you could search Google Trends and put image. So there was about 40 searches on January 31st and January 30th of the image of Nancy Guthrie. You guys seen all that? I mean, I have tons of screenshots of that. No bite lights are different. Oh, okay. Makes sense. That one don't have tinted windows, but they could have removed the tint. Okay. Interesting. I'm sorry, I'm just reading everybody. Due to all the evidence now that he had a signal jammer, the signal jammer could also affect the pacemaker. Did you guys see the map of where the signal jammer is? His flashlight is more in his mouth. You are right on that. I was scared, like I was going to choke to death. So that would only happen to me. I'd have the nightlight in there and like testing it like an idiot, and I'm like gagging, and that's the end of me. He had a smaller one in his mouth, it looked like. Okay. I still look at like the overall, like it's just, there's not a big like light at all. So it's like very tiny. I mean, I do have a really small, I don't know, my son got it as like a gift. We'd never give it to him. This little flashlight, because he likes flashlights. It's literally like the size of my pinky. I could try that. It's like, but I mean, we don't give it to him because we don't want him to choke or anything. But I could try that. But I mean, you are right, though. It is probably smaller. SIM cards don't need a subscription. It loops every 24 hours. Interesting. It's because the flashlight is never outside of his mouth. Correct. That makes sense. This is a really weird YouTuber. Jarrell had this guy walk up to him in front of Nancy's house. Oh, yeah, the drunk guy? Yeah, that guy's insane. Also, scratch the photo. Yeah, right, strange. Hey, what's up? I have 2 Nest cameras with SIMs cards, so I don't need a subscription. Yeah, they smash me every month with a subscription. It's just, and then the thing never works. I mean, it literally never records ever. It's always like if someone, Amazon or someone rings the doorbell, it never, like in my app, it always freezes. It never works. The best one I had was like 10 years ago. It was just a cheap Ring doorbell. It's like $10 a month. It worked perfect. It never, in bad weather, it always worked. And Nest, for some reason, my Nest, but anyways, I don't want to complain about that. But okay, I do want to show you maps. I'm not sure how many people even know about my channel or have seen any of this. So I want to show you the Nancy, and you could have seen this. So, but I think for those that didn't see it, might want to see kind of where the jamming was at. Okay, we're going to share this. Okay, hold on a second. Let me just read 43 here. Yes, you can see the strap around the passenger. Trust me, I have images on my phone. This is not a hoax. My theory is Dominic, send pic, Terry, well, person of interest ends 2023. The vehicle is newer than that. maybe had not got a windows tinted yet. Okay, great. Blue's Clues had no clue there was tinted. All I did was just search a parking lot, and I, on Google Earth, how you can kind of go back. Here's the thing: people that are subscribed to my channel, they're probably tired of seeing this. But someone in the chat mentioned Wi-Fi jammer. So if we go over here are the easiest routes for the suspect to escape with less. So if we go on like traffic cameras and we put in cell phone towers, ready? I'm going to click on and click off, click on, click off. All the blue represent cell phone towers, and then click on, click off. These are all traffic cameras. Okay, so they go, let me just make sure we got all of them on. Hold on a second. Interesting. They don't have the... Okay, so here's the Wi-Fi disruption zone in Nancy's area. So this was documented by somebody that made this. I don't know if you guys already seen this, but so this is actually what they would have done. Again, take this with a grain of salt. I would like to send you a picture I saw. Can you repeat your email? Yep, just give me 1 second. Ted invested. TedInvestigates@gmail.com. Okay. You just said something about the Wi-Fi jammer interfere, the pacemaker. Maybe that's why. Okay, so here's the Wi-Fi jammer. Okay. We look here. Here's the medium power. So it's 300 meters, a high power directional antenna jammer, could blank out an entire block, would reach cameras in the surrounding areas. Okay, so this is the one where you kind of bury around the area. And then this is the one that failed. That was right. Okay, so if you notice here, this jammer blocked the one house where Brian Enton, if you look at where his fence was, like he was standing behind a brick wall in one of his videos. And it is a bad Wi-Fi area in general. So I don't know, if it was the jammer or more this. Again, this is the handheld medium power. It could be held in a briefcase, a backpack, vehicle mounted jammer. Typically covers 1 to 2 surrounding properties in all direction. Most Wi-Fi cameras this radius would lose connection. Okay, so this is walking you through both jammers. Again, also take into consideration Tucson. You're in the mountains. How good are the Wi-Fi signals? We have, let's see. If we go out of here, so Nancy's area didn't have many cell phone towers. So if you click here, you get a cell phone tower here. If they're using radios or stuff like that, it wouldn't work. So you wouldn't be able to see it there. But here we have photos. We were actually able to see the different cameras. Let me see if it works. Major traffic cameras. Oh, they removed the OSM cameras just a little bit ago. So we had 235 OSM cameras that were literally removed. Okay, so this is real time. So right now, my map originally had a bunch more cameras on here, and it seems like somebody pulled, because if you look right here under cameras, there was 34 ADOTs, but there was 236, and I even have a screenshot of it, of the OSM cameras. I wonder if they were taking those down. Is that weird? Yeah, I can't access all the yellow cameras. So there was all these yellow cameras that were along this line, and now they're gone. Wait 1 second. Is that weird? It literally, if you watch my other podcast, you can see, because we were trying to get the updated live traffic cameras in real time to go back to those dates, and we were all very close in implementing that, and now they're actually gone on this real-time site. That is very weird. I have another instant thought. You've heard the neighbors say that she got a clean roof and they don't remember how recent she had cleaned. Maybe the crew came from the cleaner. Yeah, it could definitely be someone from inside of the house. It definitely can be from a housekeeping maid, landscaper, painter, construction, the restaurant worker. Church is what they're looking at. Again, I don't want to do reckless speculation, but there was a church in the area, St. Andrew's Presbyterian Church. I can't confirm that the FBI was looking into a couple individuals. My opinion, when I went on there and kind of just looked at a few individuals, they didn't have the right chest size, but those photos could have been from a while ago. Hey, what's up, everybody? Okay, let me read. I think he took her out there in her own car and brought her back a car later. Or that could be a possibility. I sent an email. I forgot to put in the subject. Okay. The feds are pulling them. You're right. You're right. The feds are pulling them because if anybody's followed my channel, which I show this, all the OSM cameras are completely off this map. It makes absolutely no sense. It's the first time I've ever seen this. This has never been like this. 34 ADOTs. These are your ADOT cameras, okay, which do here. I'll show you if you can see. No live camera feed at this time. What's weird is it took them that long to pull it, though. Let me see if I cannot believe I can't get this up. Google Maps won't even show it. Nothing will show it. Let me see if I can show you here. Let me. The next has batteries, so it kept recording. I remember seeing what you're talking about. Yes, exactly. In the southeast. Okay, I'm not going crazy. Yeah, it was all these red or big bright yellow cameras. Let me try to find. I mean, I know it's neither here nor there now, but let me just try to show you. I could have swore I took a screenshot of it because that's what we were working on. Yeah, I think this is it. Wait, watch this. This is goofy. This is how you know the FBI is on this. This is crazy. I mean, it probably seems more. There's an issue with your file. Try again. Okay, I'm going to remove this off the stage. Then I'm going to try to find it just to show you so I'm not losing my mind because I'm like, where are all the OSM cameras? They're completely gone, which makes no sense. But I did take a screenshot so you know. Let me see if I took a few. So these are the OSM cameras. Let me just show you what we were trying to do, but obviously the FBI takes care of it. So with the OSM cameras, you would click on one, and then you could go back for a few days and get pictures of it, okay? And then the actual, I'll have to ask Alex actually what happened with the map. Because now when you go to the old screenshot, come on, please just show up. There we go. Okay, perfect. Here it is. Can everybody see this? Can you see my my mouse right now? And I know I'm sounding silly, but can you see my mouse pad right here on these yellow ones? Here, wait, let me hide this. Here, let me get this. Here, wait. Oh, it's a screenshot. See, look. Right there, yellow. There's tons of them. Red, orange. Those aren't on the real map. Okay, cool. Just so you know. So I took a screenshot and you could view the live feed. And this is I-10 right here. So if we go to our original feed, let's go. I wonder if it'll allow me to share this one. Hold on a second. Yeah, they're completely gone. Look, this is FBI. Oh, you got to remove the other one before presenting. Okay, so that's why there is. So that's the photo that I've taken a few days ago, and then when you remove it, you go to the next stage, and there's literally nothing. So the FBI is working on it. There's literally nothing to see. There's no OSM cameras at all. Sherry says, "Do you think that I'm sure the FBI has seen your page, your channel, and other channel, but do you think they're blocking your viewing?" You know what? I don't, because if you look here, and I don't know if you can see what I'm looking at here. Let me erase it. If you look here, this is how I knew something was wrong. Can you see where it says, look, traffic cameras, 34 ADOT. That's all it's showing. But there was 234 OSM cameras. You probably can Google in Tucson. Watch this. I bet I could Google how many OSM cameras are in Tucson. Okay, there are, well, this is worldwide. Wait, what? In Tucson, there are live, let me see. Hold on. It might not give you, it should give you a count. I might not just have the I-10 traffic cameras. Yeah, it's all So it doesn't give me a direct stat. Let's look at let me look here for a second. Okay, so this is how you know that Wi-Fi clinch is correct, because I can definitely see Wi-Fi clinch is correct because I definitely wait. I'm sorry. What did you say? Wi-Fi clinched is correct because I definitely see it strapped around the passenger ear. And if so, the Wi-Fi clinch did work. They just plant a mask there and not a strap. I don't think they used a car. They dug her out on the tarp. Yep, that's what I heard too. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to retype. Okay. Now let's show you. Why does it keep having? 1 second. Stop the screen here. Now let's just share the simple, so you know this is Arizona's, the I-10 traffic cameras. These are the OSMs. So this is the live, not live, but just so you know, like, I'm not BSing. These are the real pictures of the cameras. I'm not sure if you can see me scroll down in real time or not. But these are the ones they're not showing. And there's 234 of them, and I'm going to count them. So let me know if you can see. Okay, I'm going to count because, and I know this might seem like a waste of time, but it bothers me that I can't see the traffic cameras. This is what we're working on. Ready? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. Okay, maybe I skipped one. 44, 45, 46, 47, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. So there's 50 right there that are uncounted for the real-time traffic. And then we have all the, this now. So I guess there's 50 there. According to my site, it said 234. And then on top of that, guys, think of this too. Okay, when I add this back on the stage, think of all these cameras, right? So we have cell phones. We have cell phone towers. Now Nest cameras, residential, building cameras, property cameras. I mean, this is the state of surveillance we live in, and that's the only clip of the car that we can get is this car driving away. Yeah. Exactly. So it just blows my mind that I don't know who looked in the dumpster and stuff. So that's just one of the things I wanted to show. Let's see. So this is the original one with the Wi-Fi jammer. All the different. I'm glad I took a screenshot of this, or I would have thought I was going crazy. What about the blue Malibu? Does anybody know what was the blue Malibu? The car that they heard somebody screaming out of. I'm just losing my memory because this has been going on for like 40 plus days. And then I thought they originally thought the white Kia was like a drunk driver, like because he was driving around erratically. Could that be Nancy fighting off the person, right? Did you hear the same stuff I did with the like drunk erratic driver? Yeah, it really is unreal. So, okay, so and then you're also saying so this file here, because I don't want to share like um 1 second. And then we have a ton of like these, which I mean I could show these for days. The FBI scrubbed these. Nancy Guthrie's address searched 100 times on Google Trends on January 8th, 2026. I mean, this is just basic Google Trends. They're scrubbed now, though. I took a bunch of screenshots of these because I figured that they would go away. Here, I'll show you some more that I have. I mean, it's nothing big. It's not like I'm like, ooh, I found something. It's just anyone could do it. Problem is I just can't see some of them. 1 second. Which one was this one? Maps. So Apple Maps, there was 54 that were using Apple Maps when I typed in Guthrie's address. Just they were trying to figure out, like, I guess, mapping it out. Image file. I mean, this is real basic stuff, so it's not like I'm showing you guys anything you guys don't know of. Let me see this one. I can barely make it out. Okay, Nancy Guthrie's address was searched a little bit less on January 2nd. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yep. If you like my channel, please subscribe. So then we have I'm just trying to see what I can't see what I'm putting up here. Let's see. What is this one? Nancy's Guthrie address again, trying to find her address back in December. You have January, you have December, you have a lot of the other notes were a Nancy Guthrie U.S. bank account searched. You had Savannah Guthrie, Bitcoin. Does she have a Bitcoin? And people were searching that the exact same days of the ransom, and it was searched a bunch of times, almost like someone was panicky, even though I think the ransom might just been BS, crazy people just trying to give money. Oh, okay, he's leaving tomorrow. Yeah, he's been out for quite some time. Now let's go through. So this is the. Let me remove this off stage. Okay, so what you're saying about this file, so I can get rid of this then. You're saying that because of the Kia, because the Kia doesn't have tints. Hold on a second. This is what I found in the parking lot. I just wanted to just ask the group again. So this is not the right car, like you're thinking. They were talking about the Kia had more of tints. Because this was out front of El Churro, which would be like the employee parking lot. Let me check. Just give me 1 second here. Okay, Jacob already went home. Okay, let's see other things. Let's just check right now. Let me check some of my sources on 1 second. See any other. Then did everybody see the restaurant like El Churro where she was eating earlier? Here, I can show you that if not. 1 second. How is Banfield was just saying? Let me just show El Churro. Do you guys think El Churro is related to anything? Or is that, let me see. Oh, here. Oh, okay. I'm going to share this real quick. Just bear with me. Because, I mean, they always went there, right? It felt like they were there all the time. Okay, just bear with me 1 second here.
Especially when home is as stunning a place as Tucson, Arizona, where the sunsets paint the sky every single night, and every cactus is an old friend.
Here's Savannah talking about it.
Saguaro. This is the jumping cholla, because if you walk past it and brush it, it jumps out at you. Or, in some cases, frenemy. Still sharp, but Tucson is more than its breathtaking landscape. It's a vibrant community and canvas. Hi, Joe. I'm Savannah Guthrie. Nice to meet you. This is beautiful.
Thanks.
Joe Pagic has transformed Tucson one wall at a time, turning bland buildings into colorful celebrations of desert life and culture.
Just gonna do a little arc like that.
Okay. I'm leaving my mark on Tucson.
That's a finished Gila monster tail.
And speaking of desert creatures, no trip to Tucson is complete without visiting the Arizona Sonora Desert Museum. A frequent elementary school field trip for me, it's home to hundreds of animals native to the Sonoran Desert, like javelinas, those wild rascals that were always knocking over our trash cans growing up, and a brand new bouncing baby.
This is our porcupine pine cone who actually came to us from New York.
After weeks in quarantine, he's making his big debut with us. Honey, I'm bringing home a pet. But it was all just a warm-up for Klaus.
He's about as close to a flying puppy as you can get.
Okay.
So,
Woman, 53, dies in hometown, felled by ferocious puppy owl. Klaus. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh my God.
so this is Klaus.
Hi, Klaus.
Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Okay, Klaus, well, it was nice to meet you and everything. Okay, oh, bye.
Overcoming your fears.
Yes, you did fantastic. You did fantastic.
And speaking of girls gone wild, Tucson is also where I went to college. I can't believe it. I'm back. This is my alma mater, the University of Arizona. It's just as beautiful and sunny as it ever was. But I want to meet some real students of today.
No.
I know just where to go. Knock, knock. Mr. President.
Hey,
Hi.
Savannah.
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
to see you. Just reading about you.
Oh my gosh. It is so good to be back in
Great
Tucson.
to see you. Welcome.
I'm a hugger. This is home.
That's fantastic.
Where-
We're so happy you're back.
Where are all the students?
You remember them all.
Yes.
Welcome home.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
I'm here, but where is everybody?
Welcome back home, Savannah.
I think this is my sorority house. I think this is the Pi house. I gotta go. Hello? Anybody home? Hello? Yes. Oh, hi. Hi, I'm Savannah Guthrie. Pi, let's fast 90.
1 second. You might want to back up a little bit.
Back in my day, we just did the secret handshake. Now, they have a viral TikTok dance. You guys just won Best Pi chapter in the country. Is this a snap? That's what we used to do. What does it mean to you to be a Pi and be part of this organization?
I find myself becoming a better version of who I am every single day that I'm in Pi. We have the most amazing emerging leaders, and I'm just so proud of all of them.
Well, it's so fun to be back here. It's been a long, long time.
Actually, we did find something of yours, and we have a little surprise for you.
Okay. I remember this. This used to hang on the wall.
Yeah, it still does.
Big hair, don't care. Okay, let's see.
There you
Here I
are.
am.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, there I am. That's my natural hair color. Guys, thank you so much for having me. I've had the best time. Should we do one more cheer before I go?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's go. 3, 2, 1. But by far, my favorite part about Tucson is family. El Charro is the oldest family-owned Mexican restaurant in America and the perfect place to catch up with mine, my mom Nancy and sister Annie. I come here every time I come home to Tucson. I have to come to El Charro. How long has El Charro been here?
103 years.
Carlota Flores has run El Charro for over 50 years, taking over from her great aunt Monica, the woman who's said to have invented the chimichanga. She treated us to a tradition from back in Prohibition when women playing cards would hide their tequila in teacups. Cheers.
Cheers.
I love being home. Don't drink the whole thing.
Yeah, I just seen it now. Yep, I just seen it now. Let me email myself this. Give me 1 second.
What made you want to
I mean, let me
stay
save this
in
to the.
Tucson
Oh,
So wonderful.
Let me
Just the air,
see.
the quality of life is laid back and gentle. Yeah, I like to watch the javelina
ate my plants.
But the best thing about Tucson is coming home and
Yes.
seeing you guys. Should we raise a glass? Prickly Pear Margarita. Cheers.
Cheers.
Love you.
Oh wait,
From the love of family to the familiar beauty of the scenery, I will always be a daughter of the desert.
wait, didn't this show her? This is supposed to show her eating at El Churro. What? I'm sorry. 1 second. What the heck? That was a waste. Sorry to waste your guys' time here. Where is? I guess it doesn't matter if they don't. 1 second. It shows her mom like celebrating with her eating, but I guess it doesn't. Let's see if Nancy Grace might show it. One second.
Out to Crime Stories investigative reporter Dave Mack joining us tonight. Dave Mack, I want to hear first about the FBI going to a Mexican restaurant and re-interrogating restaurant workers. Now, it's my understanding there are two restaurants in question. One is a restaurant to which we can attribute the glove that had DNA that was found a little over 2 miles away from Nancy Guthrie's home. There's that restaurant in play, and there is the restaurant that was featured in the Today Show segment. Let's see that as we're talking. It was called an Arizona Homecoming, as I recall, and Savannah went home to visit her family. And while there, she and her mom and I think Sister Annie went to their favorite Mexican restaurant. And this is that segment. Savannah's Arizona Homecoming is the El Chorro Cafe. And this is from our friends at Today. I believe it's this restaurant, not the one connected innocently, I might add, to the glove found near Nancy Guthrie's home. Is that right, Dave? It's this restaurant, the Today Show restaurant?
That's my understanding, Nancy. The Today Show filmed Nancy and her family eating out and having a good time as a family. But the FBI investigators were back there interviewing workers who were present the day the Today Show set was they were filming. And they're asking them specific questions about people that were there the day of the shoot. Was there anybody acting oddly? Was there a fan that seemed overly, trying to contact with Savannah and touching and talking? There was a lot of asking about what took place that day, who was there, and how did they act? Anybody weird? Anybody stand out? That's what they're asking, Nancy.
And I want to nail down, Dave Mack, when did the re-questioning occurred?
Yesterday and the day before.
So they spent 2 days back at this restaurant. That video from our friends at Today. Now,
Oops, what happened here? Sorry about that. Okay, wait. Let me just show. I wanted to show. I just want to show you the video of the key again for Casey King. He did not see it, so this was in the back parking lot. It could be a big nothing burger, but at least just wanted to show you what we're able to find at the parking lot today. There, let me show you this. So this is what I was talking about, Casey. So I just want to show that. Let me remove this off stage. Share the screen, Brianna. Have you guys seen about the DNA and how they check it out?
Case specifically, and I know you've shown us now how to read the DNA, but talk to me about how difficult it might be for what they're looking at inside her home. We know it's mixed DNA, but we don't know what evidence that's coming off of the item or perhaps something they found. So what's the challenge right now for those who are working on that mixed DNA?
There are several challenges. The first challenge is to identify an item of evidence inside that home that has a high likelihood of having the suspect's DNA on it. So if you have items from Miss Guthrie's home, we would expect to find her DNA on it. It's her home. So what we're looking for is an item that would have the suspect's DNA on it. And that's in an attempt to identify him. And so we want to find an item that has his DNA on it. We want to find an item that has a sufficient amount of DNA that we can utilize in the crime laboratory to get a result. And then when you have a mixture of DNA, ideally what we would want is to have enough of his DNA that we could generate a DNA profile to identify him. Several items that I would look at or have questions to the investigator. I have noticed that they haven't released a lot of information about how the suspect made entry into the home. So typically the point of entry is one of the areas we would look at to see if DNA had been left behind by the perpetrator, because sometimes they use tools to get into that home and to pry a door open, or they break a window to get in. Sometimes they're injured and they'll leave their DNA at the point of entry. So I would be curious to know the point of entry and if there was any sort of damage and any sort of biological fluids left there at that point of entry. In addition to that, depending on what transpired in that home, I would want to know what the scene looked like and if there were items that the investigators would have a good idea that the suspect may have handled or touched. I don't know if there was a struggle inside the home, if there was evidence of a struggle. And so there may be items that investigators may be able to identify that have a high likelihood that has the suspect's DNA on it.
Fluids, top tier for DNA, right?
Correct. So body fluids are very rich in DNA. So as you saw in this case, the first items of evidence that were DNA typed was a body fluid, blood, that is very rich in DNA, has a very good chance of giving a DNA result. And so that's why those items of evidence were worked first, as you would expect. In addition to that, that blood was right there at the threshold of that front door. And so you don't know if the suspect injured himself on the way in and that blood belonged to him, or if it belonged to the victim. And the only way you'd know that is when you DNA typed it. And all of those items came back to match the victim in this case.
So then you'd move on to touch DNA.
That's correct. So you'd move on to any other items or the second wave or the second group of items that may have the suspect's DNA on it.
Where does this all start?
So initially when evidence comes in, it's going to go through a serology examination. So serology is testing for body fluids. So depending on the nature of the case and what body fluids you suspect are present on an item of evidence, then we're going to do some initial testing. And that is what initially happened in any case that involves blood. So you do a preliminary blood test where you test that sample, and if it's positive for blood, that sample would then move on for DNA analysis. So depending on what type of case you're dealing with, whether that is a burglary or a sexual assault or a homicide, you'll have different items of evidence and different body fluids. So you're going to do that preliminary testing. And after you do that preliminary testing, you may end up going over to the microscope and looking to see what kind of cells you have present. We would do that first because if you have something that looks like blood, for example, I know that it's a common myth that if you had ketchup or something like that, we can clearly tell that that's not blood under a microscope. Not blood under a microscope. And you can tell that by looking under a microscope. But most people don't have a microscope to know. So we have these very quick chemical tests that will tell us very quickly if it's positive or negative. And then those samples are forwarded on for DNA analysis.
So that's what would have happened with the Guthrie case. The blood that was found on the front porch would have gone through this process.
Yes, it would have gone through a preliminary serology exam. That leads us into the 4 steps of DNA analysis. There are 4 general steps. The first one is we have to get the DNA out of the blood sample, for example.
Yeah.
And so we're going to use a kit like this that has chemicals in it where we are going to extract the DNA out of the sample. So this kit comes with all of the chemicals that you need. And so what this does is, if you remember back to your biology class from high school, the cell is made up of fat with protein and DNA and RNA. Well, we want to get rid of all of those parts of the cell and just keep the DNA. So these chemicals would break open those cells, release the contents, and we would get rid of everything. And we would take that DNA sample and we would filter it through. And what we're left with at the very end in this filtered sample is a DNA sample. So we have to figure out how much did we get. So we're going to use an instrument where we figure out how much DNA.
So true, Mindy. So true.
What's this called?
This is called a
Now, Brian Enton also did something
and this is used
with
to
this. He had
determine how much
really
DNA,
good
and
questions.
you would put your samples in this tray. Into this, we would put your DNA sample and we would figure out how much DNA did we get out of it.
If you want,
Or
I
is
can
that a
show you how
number?
I
Is that
found
like
It's a
the
number.
Kia.
2
Again, we're
or
not trying to
4?
throw
What kind of
anybody under
number
the
are we
bus.
talking?
We're not
It is a
trying to
very
make
high
any
tech number.
innocent
So this is
through
a very
reckless
high tech
speculation.
way of figuring out
Just
how much DNA.
looking at Google
Just
Earth.
to give you a
That
reference,
car
we
could
work
never
with
be there
very
again for all
small
we know.
amounts of DNA. We typically like to have at least 1 nanogram of DNA. That's 1 times 10 to the negative 6. That's a very, very small
Yeah, I
amount.
don't even know what that
Very, very
number
small
is.
amount of DNA. It's tiny, tiny, tiny amounts of DNA. And so that's why we can get DNA profiles from skin cells. And so we're dealing with very small amounts. And so then the third step, after we figure out how much DNA, we want to copy the DNA out of the evidence. And we're going to use little tubes like this. This is called a thermal cycler. And this is a very fancy instrument that what it does is it heats and cools. And the reason it heats and cools is we use an enzyme that copies DNA at very specific areas where we know people are different.
Yeah.
And the kits that we use are designed against those areas where we know people are different. We don't want to copy all of your DNA. We don't want to copy the parts that everybody has that tells you to have 2 eyes and 2 ears and a nose. No, there are specific areas within our DNA that are called short tandem repeats, or STRs. And this is where people are different. And this is how we can take a sample
Thanks, Terry.
and generate a DNA profile and tell it apart from any other sample.
So what are those things that are different?
So let me show you what those are. I have them on my computer. So the areas in a crime laboratory that we look at are areas of DNA that have this pattern. And if you notice, can you see the 4 base pattern where it says CATG, and they're blocked out here in different colors? And you can see that they're repeated over and over and over again. So they're called STRs because they're short, they're tandem, which means they're right next to each other, and they're repeated over and over. And
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I've heard STR testing for years, and I didn't know exactly what that was.
Yes.
So this is interesting.
And we have, all of us have areas of our DNA where we all have a different number of repeats. And so that is how I'm able to tell your DNA apart from mine, for example.
So you get the STR.
We get the STR results, yes.
And then what?
And then this is what the data looks like. So when we look at the data, first of all, this is what a DNA profile looks like. This is actually a mixture of DNA. And this is a profile generated during our research. And those areas of where the STRs are the addresses up here in these boxes. So that D stands for DNA, and I can enlarge this if you'd like.
Sure,
Let's take a look. Let me scroll down just a little bit. So see up here, it says D3S1358.
Yep.
That's like an address. That means DNA on chromosome 3, site 1358. It's like an address. And it's an address for scientists. What you see here is under each one of these boxes, if you have DNA from one person, the maximum number of peaks you're going to see is 2. One from mom and one from dad. But then notice here, I have 2 really tall peaks, and then I have this really tiny peak. This is how I know that I have a mixture of DNA. And the really strong peaks here is the person who donated the majority of DNA. And the really short peaks is the person who donated a very small amount of DNA.
So often are you looking for the small amount?
Very often. Very often. And so this is what we talk about when we talk about mixtures is how many people are in the mixture and how much DNA did each person contribute. And notice, because you have a difference in the height of the peaks, you can tell them apart very quickly, can't you? By looking at it. But if each person donated 50%, the peak heights are going to be roughly similar. So being able to pull out profiles becomes very, very difficult. And so that is what lends the complexity to mixture analysis is it good quality DNA? How many people are in, is it a mixture? How many people are in the mixture? And then how much DNA did each person contribute?
So let's say for the Nancy Guthrie case, we know there's mixed DNA in the home. Assumably, based on what you just showed me, Nancy's DNA would be those high peaks. She'd be the #1 contributor in her own home.
It's possible, but it depends on what the source of DNA was. Given that she lived in the home, I would expect to find her DNA on items of evidence taken from inside of her home.
Like a doorknob.
Yes. Yes, a doorknob, for example, or any item that she used in her home on a regular basis, whether it's a kitchen utensil or anything. But it doesn't necessarily mean that she donated the majority of DNA. It could be the opposite, where depending on what the body fluid is, you can have that ratio, those can flip flop. And so, but you could also have her be the very strong donor and him be a very weak donor, which would lend itself to why it's been difficult.
We know, we keep hearing in the case, we are testing DNA in the CODIS database, and we're testing DNA with genetic genealogy. Explain how the difference works in terms of preparing DNA for each set of testing.
This is a great question you asked, because this also explains why it's taking a little bit longer, which is there are basically two pipelines, if you want to think about it like that. There is a DNA testing that's done in the crime laboratories called STRs. And that is the format or the areas of DNA that we look at where DNA is repeated over and over. And the number of areas that are the number of repeats that people have is different. In a crime laboratory, they're going to copy areas of DNA called STRs. And then in the ancestry databases, they're going to copy different areas of DNA called SNPs, or single nucleotide polymorphisms. So what you have is, if you do the testing in the regular format, which is STRs, and that's the format of our National DNA Criminal Database, then in order to do genetic genealogy, you have to test the DNA again in this other format called SNPs.
And that's where we're at now.
But what you have for genealogy looks like this. So what they're doing is they're looking at DNA, but instead of them being short tandem repeats, they're looking for a single change. So this SNP.
Yeah, SNP.
SNPs. So you keep hearing them talk about SNPs. Well, this is what a SNP is. Notice you have the entire sequence is identical except for this one single change. And you have 3 different people that are each color-coded. And each person has a different DNA base at that particular location. And that's what a SNP is. And so that is the difference between what goes on in a forensic crime lab, what areas of DNA get copied there, and this is what gets copied in all of the ancestry databases.
So, yeah.
So this is why it requires 2 forms of testing. You have your initial testing that goes through the STR testing, and then in order to run a sample through an ancestry database, you have to copy the SNPs. So you have a second test that's happening, a second DNA test. It lent itself to cold cases, but then what you see now is an evolution where this technology is being applied to other types of cases where you have a risk to the public, or like in this case, where you have somebody who has been kidnapped and finding the perpetrator is timely. And you also saw it in the Moscow, Idaho murders, where what you had was a very brutal murder of 4 college co-eds, where the suspect in that case was young. He never had been in trouble with the law. His DNA sample wasn't in the criminal database, but what you had was a tremendous risk to the public. So finding him before he perpetrated another crime was absolutely vital.
I think a lot of people thought that when the surveillance video was released, that would be your kind of key golden piece of evidence. Somebody would recognize that person, somebody would call in, you'd be led to that person. But obviously that hasn't happened yet. So is it possible that DNA may play the biggest role in this case?
It may. DNA certainly has the potential to crack a case, especially this case. You can also have other sources of forensic evidence, whether that be items of fingerprints, articles of clothing that were left behind. Any sort of article left behind may have the suspect's DNA on it. It's just very hard to know without knowing what the interior of the home looks like and what items of evidence are available to the investigators.
Okay, let me remove that real quick. I'll give you 1 second. Somebody had sent me, let me see how to get back on the screen here. Someone had sent me some images really quick. Wanted to share them. So this is, again, this was outside El Churro. There's that Kia. I know I keep bringing it up. License plate is blurred out. It's Google Maps. Here's what someone wanted me to show. Just bear with me. About out front of the house. These are 3 separate files. So I don't know what's going to pop up first. Give me 1 second. So this is right here. This, I believe, without, I don't want to expose any of his information. This is from Terry. Basically, if you can see it, let me minimize myself. Might not be able to see it, but he's saying that there was a truck pointing in the direction, almost like a spotter, maybe like, 3 people. There's one guy that was in control of knocking out the Nest doorbell. Other guy went to the side by the green door to break in, because if you notice, her front door she had glass on both sides. That wasn't broken. Just the Nest was. So he sent me this with a spotter. Let me show you the other photo really quick. This one might be kind of tough to see. So this one might be a little bit tough to see. So this is outside of her house where he was trying to change the color around to show the car. But let me show you the next one. He did a really good job doing this. It just might not come up as clear when we're streaming through this, but wanted to at least show it. This one's really blurry, where I think he's trying to show us a little bit of a spotlight. And then let me show you one more. Nope, is it the same one? God, hold on. Supposed to be one more. Maybe I went through it too fast. Yep. I guess that was it. I'll put it together better in Canva so you can see the headlights. It's headlights of a white SUV. Thank you. Okay. All right. So I'm not seeing it, but I do believe you because a lot of people have mentioned it to me. My eyes are brutal. Yeah. So there's that. If you'd like to see the spot where, I could show you really quick on the Google Earth. Again, I don't want to waste anybody's time being here. I know your Sundays are important to be with family and friends. Basically, I just went on Google Earth. Okay, so let me share it. This is basically, anyone can do this. Oop, where'd it go? We're black. Oh, the FBI blocked me out. No, I'm kidding. Now, where the heck anything is now? Oh, right here. Okay. Google Earth. We are right in front of. So this is what I thought. So when I was waiting for JLR, originally this place was closed because he got there around 8 or 9. I think he had a really good video on it, so you'll want to check his out. So basically, what I thought, because when I was a waiter like 20 years ago, they would always tell you to park in the back, right? So like this is the parking lot. There's also a little bit of parking in the back, maybe 1 or 2 cars, but it's mainly for delivery. If everybody can see this. So basically you went down the street here. Went this way. And this could be a customer, this could be anything. So again, I'm not trying to, I solved it, or, I found the right car, or whatever, So if we just check the dates. 1 second here. Oops. We go over here. You know how weird Google is, how you got to be at some certain places in order to find the car? It's so strange. So if you go to North Church Street. No, wait 1 second. Maybe I got the wrong. Bingo. So this is, it's nothing remarkable, but here it is. So what's tough is you can't really go around it. So when you try, it changes. So it must have been a different date. Here's the side profile of it. Again, nothing earth shattering. It could be a 1% chance. But Okay, yeah, please email me. Yeah, I'm definitely spinning my wheels here. Exactly. You know what? I was doing that. That's a Kia. What I was doing that is when JLR was waiting because the restaurant was closed. Okay, so the restaurant wasn't open. So I was like, well, am I going to just listen to him talk outside of a restaurant? You know, because he does a really good job. But I was like, well, let me just search the parking lot to see if a white Kia even matters. So as he was waiting, because we had 2 hours of waiting, I got ADHD. I wasn't just going to sit around. So I just started scrolling around, and maybe it's a way reach, and we really are spinning our wheels here. um, but I just wanted to show that. Again, this is like, you know, did you hear JOS, the chef, the FBI? Yeah, the chef said no. I mean, again, this is a restaurant that's been in business for over 100 years who claims they invented the chimichanga. They don't want this kind of press at their restaurant, okay? They don't want law enforcement. They don't want FBI with all the different raids going on. They want no media, bad media coverage. They're a well-oiled restaurant, okay? I have family that own restaurants. They don't want law enforcement. They don't want anybody that are troublemakers that are going to be accusing of people that work at the restaurant. Okay, so they're going to say no. Okay, makes sense. They're not going to, you know, there could be a lawsuit too. You can sue the federal government. You can sue the state. I mean, they've been around 100 years. They don't want this BS going down in the restaurant. I don't know. Maybe there's a 5% chance there could be a perpetrator there. The church, a maintenance worker, somebody that knew Nancy, a relative of the family, not necessarily, obviously it's not a close family member because she's 84 anyways, right? Wasn't she going to pass away and leave a will anyways? It could be a friend of a friend who knows the Nancy Guthrie's. I mean, when somebody's famous like that, there's a lot of tentacles. So a friend of a friend, a dog walker that knows her, just anything. It could be anybody. So thank you. I appreciate it. This is all I have for you today. I don't want to keep your time on your Sunday with your family. We're doing an 8 p.m. If you're interested in the Delphi case, we go through that. But that's all I have. I'm sorry it was short and sweet, but that's the only update I have was one little random week thing I found. But when I saw the Kia, I was like, oh my God, finally I found a Kia. Now there's 50,000 of them, but so yeah, like, share, subscribe. We're constantly checking sources. On my page, I usually will just post too if there's anything instead of doing a live stream right away, because if there's nothing to show, I don't want to waste anybody's time. So enjoy your Sunday with family and friends. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.